Cast Shield of Faith on himself to give him 24.
Well, I do not have that.
Great. Hello, welcome to Adventures Wanted. This is going to be the 132nd
Woo!
250. Just a reminder, this is a relaxed performance, like all of our performances. That means there won't be any loud, sudden noises. If you need to hop out to go to the bathroom or go have a breather and come back in, you can leave and return within the hour. There's a relaxed
Should we grab another
sound
bottle?
and movement from the audience for the benefit of people who struggle to be still and silent for the hour. And also, we will just be keeping the general house lights up. There is a slight glitch with some of the hotel lights at the moment. We will never go to blackout because we'll always have these, and I will get the light switched back on within 10 seconds if they happen to go off. I'm sorry about that. None of you look like you're carrying loop headsets. If you needed something like that, I'm Chloe. I'm the stage manager. I'm just over there. Give me a wave. But for now, I will hand you over to Leo, who is our games master for this hour.
Hi, I'm Leo. Hello, very welcome. Chloe, we've had a minor spillage back here. A minor spillage. Could you give me a hand while I do my
small child came in.
my intro? Yeah, it was. I blame everything on the stealthed gnomes. Hi, my name's Leo. That was embarrassing. I'm sorry. What is this? This is a tabletop role-playing game, which means that the four people on my left and right have individual characters that they play in a fantasy setting. As the games master, I play the fantasy setting, from the allies that they meet to the enemies they defeat, to the boulders that sometimes roll off the hills and crush the players if they get too annoying. Yeah, it's nice to have a contingency plan, you know.
I'll be mother.
Thanks, Chloe. Actually, can I grab some from my laptop? Thank you. So we've had 130 odd hours of backstory, so I'm not going to fill you in on all of it. But very briefly, the crew of the Spirit of the Horizon, a scientific research vessel, awakened an ancient evil god, and then trying to escape from that god, cast a spell that was way too powerful for any of them to control, and thus threw themselves into a brand new reality. They've ever since been trying to get home desperately by recreating the spell. And they've had many adventures along the way, but in this, what's recently just happened is that the queen of the city of Lunes, called Abelzim, has asked them to go to her sister's city, who's called Tabris, Greenglade, and help her out with some cults goings on. The cult of the Snake Mother has been said, which apparently is a cult of Nif, these cannibalistic snake people who are very savage. And where we just left off, they had entered Tabris's court and told them why they were there, and Tabris asked everybody to leave and started the conversation. But before we jump straight back in, why don't we meet our players and their characters? So from the right here, somehow that introduction was shorter than usual. From the right here, tell us your name, your character's name, and a little bit about their backstory.
Okay, I'm Dominic. I'm playing Elias Maudlin. He's a human cleric. Thank you. He's a human cleric. He is of an aristocratic family that was wiped out from civil strife, and he was forced into the church as a sort of safe place. He's not happy about it. He wants revenge. He considers himself still to be an aristocrat and treats other people as such. And his particular religious order got pretty sick of his moping around. He's pretty misanthropic, so they sent him on a missionary mission. Missionary mission? Missionary mission. Sure. And that's how he ended up on the ship.
Yeah.
Cool. Hi, my name is Simon. I'm playing a character called Nomi Watts, who is a gnome. He's a fighter. He's an all-round terrible person. He is probably most well known for starting an illegal gnome fighting ring in the below decks of the ship and getting into a lot of trouble. But right now he's just in it for the gold and the experience.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm playing Brina, who's the gnome wizard, who's the head of arcane research on the ship and is also responsible for shutting down gnome fights.
Swiftly.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm playing Fluffy, a rogue halfling.
Of course.
Yeah.
Amazing.
When he's on the boat, normally he just likes to clean clothes.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
boring.
cool. We've had nobody from the cleaning crew.
There you go.
I'm really glad someone's cleaning them.
from the clothes, from the laundry crew. We've had no laundry, so it's
Not
good to know
named
that was it's good to know that was being taken care of. Now, Fluffy, and of course Nomi, but Fluffy, you've been hearing stories of these teleportation magic that transports members of any land party with people who are still on the ship in hilariously convenient and inconvenient ways. It's never happened to you yet, but suddenly a gold spark plays across your skin and you get a metallic tang on your tongue, and you think, oh, it's my turn. What were you doing the moment before you were teleported to the party?
I was making a bed.
You're making a bed?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
sheet in hand, just getting it nice and straight at the edges, military corners. And then boom, yeah.
Fantastic. Nomi, what were you doing?
I was on my way to see Fluffy to hand in some laundry, and it was just as I walked in, as you were making the bed,
You're both.
we both looked at each other and then disappeared.
So Brina and Elias, you're stood in the court of the palace of of 1,000 flowers, stood before this beautiful Queen Tabris, young, chiseled features with these glowing eyes and incredibly small black pupils, with a glass of wine in her hand. And suddenly there is a glowing gold familiar light from your teammates as Sanguine disappears, as does Garrus, and they're replaced by the laundryman and that weird gnome that everybody
everyone
knows. But he's carrying a pile of his own clothes that appear to be dirty.
Maybe he's just in his briefs.
Oh, Nomi. Nomi, are there any clothes in there?
Hi, yes. Let me
some
just
clothes-
hold on a second. I'll put it back on.
Thank you. Do you have any laundry left?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, good. All right.
Luckily, I had my sword and whip and short bow on me at all times.
Well, as the captain has ordered, we should be fully armed at all times in case the teleportation magic hits us. Yes.
This is why
That
I
happened
followed
early
those
on.
orders.
Are you okay, Fluffy?
Yeah, I'm fine, but, if you've got any laundry.
Oh, this is your first time off the ship, isn't
I'll
it?
speak to you in a bit when we get back.
Oh, good.
Fantastic. Okay, we're still with Queen Tabris, aren't we?
Tabris looks down as she's seen the teleportation magic before, but she's never seen someone teleport in who's just in their underwear. And she doesn't seem unperturbed. She seems faintly amused. Nomi, were you here before? In the when you saved the queens from assassination? No, you weren't. Okay, but this is the palace where the Queen Tabris was saved from assassination, and when the crews saved her from the assassins, she was in the middle of a very hedonistic party, shall we say, and she doesn't seem particularly unperturbed that you've come in just your briefs.
Sounds like Nomi's kind of party.
But she.
Sorry, I missed it.
It was very much Nomi's kind of party.
Just
But
need to make a
she
note
does
for
have a look in her eyes that was like, this is not the time.
I do a really stupidly low bow and I...
Roll a performance check.
Oh, wow, that's not good. Performance, -1. Very charismatic. That's a 13.
A 13. You feel like it went well. It didn't.
I'm still chuffed with myself.
Not as good as Sanguines.
Right. Is anyone else likely to teleport anytime soon?
It normally all happen. If it's going to happen, it normally all happens at the same time.
Probably in about an hour.
It's that regular, is it?
Yeah.
I see.
It depends on the day. Sometimes we can go like 5 hours without someone teleporting out.
Pass the wine, would you?
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
Nice. It's such a satisfying sound.
these snake people.
Yes.
Sorry, Nomi, Fluffy, we're here to help stop an invasion of cannibalistic snake people.
All right, let's go. Nomi leaves.
No, wait.
Wait.
No, Nomi. No, Nomi, come back. We don't know where they are.
Secrecy is required here.
Ah.
Unfortunately, with Sanguine, he did not grasp secrecy or diplomacy, and it would behoove you to not follow his suit.
I understand. I don't understand.
Well, so can you tell us what's been happening?
The Nif. That's their name. Not much is known about them. There have never been any confirmed drawings or biological appraisals. All we know is that they are snake people. Some rumours mean that these are literal snakes. Some rumours say that they are humanoids with snake features. Who knows? All I know is that my city of Greenglade, the bastion of Owazo, has been infiltrated by these monsters. Now we can fight them in open-hand combat. They have no armies to match us, thank God.
But they might have arms.
Well,
Unlike snakes.
Unlike snakes. Or might they just be snakes?
She did just say that.
They're
yes.
they're very intelligent, whatever they are. And I am worried. I've already been
Kill all the snakes.
the victim of an assassination attempt once this month.
Yes, it would be nice if that wasn't something that you had to go through again.
It
Can you-
would.
What? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with this. What happened in this assassination attempt?
When we were last here, when we got the Relora really like
The
saved 3
two
queens.
of the
Oh, right.
two of the barons of Port Trouble, which I mentioned earlier as being the sort of shanty town, really dangerous area, the bad part of town. Two of the barons of Port Trouble decided to go out of their way to kill all 3 queens so that Port Trouble could take over the entire island.
Right. So probably not snake related, that one.
No, that one was not snake related.
That was just a simple power grab, classic.
It takes me back
Typical.
to my youth.
Typical Port Trouble. I mean, it's in the name. It's right there.
Yes,
no?
it is maybe.
It did once have another
Yeah,
name.
they should.
That's been lost to time.
Why don't we rename it?
What would you rename it, small one?
Port No Trouble?
Port No Trouble.
I doubt it will be that easy.
Port Pleasant.
Port Pleasant is a nice name. I like that.
Portmanteau.
Now we're getting
Port
there.
wine.
Right.
Okay, well then, what's the
Do
plan?
you have any questions you wish to ask me before you go forth on this investigation?
Yes, many.
Sounds pretty straightforward, actually.
Where are they, Nomi? Then where would you like to start, Nomi?
Well, I would start by maybe setting some traps for things that snakes might like to eat.
Where has the most trouble been with the Nif?
I would head down to Fishton.
Fishton?
That's what I said. Fishton.
I'm asking where it is. I'm so sorry. I should be more verbose, but
Right.
I've had a very trying morning.
It's towards Port Trouble, through the court of Owazo, down towards the coast.
And you say there is no one who's ever seen one of these NIF things.
Oh, people claim to have seen them.
And is there anyone you might direct us to who might be a bit more reliable than your average Joe?
There have been whispers from one of the priests of Owazo down in the plaza. Luckily, that's on your way. You could go around and ask for her. A Meguro, she is.
Another priest? Well,
What's her name?
sounds that.
I'm just looking that up.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were just being a.
Hopefully,
Being
we'll
a queen.
discover that our respective sun gods are actually just iterations of one another.
Well, Ulmorn.
Otherwise, I'll have to give us some of my literature.
Ulmorn really did find comfort in Owazo's presence in this plane when, So hopefully
Okay.
you will also find that comfort.
We'll see, won't we? Depends how
To
good
be
their
clear,
literature is.
I have no problem with cults. I have no problem with sects. There are some things that religious practices require that should not be in public view.
You're referring to
What
my
I have a
ponytail?
problem... Sorry?
You're referring to my ponytail?
Yes.
Oh,
No, of course I'm not.
oh good.
What I'm doesn't matter. What I don't want is to be the victim of another assassination attempt.
Well-
If you come across these NIF and they are peaceful, we're always looking for new trade routes. But if they wish to kill me, deal with them.
What if
I
they're
see.
cannibalizing other people?
then definitely deal with them.
I just wanted to be clear.
Yep.
Cannibals, no.
Oh, columns. She's
Money,
called
yes.
columns.
Money, yes.
The Muguro is called columns.
Columns. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay, we'll go find Columns. We'll talk to her, and then we'll see what, and then head to Fishton.
Away! Nobody
Yeah.
starts walking.
Thank you.
Can I get
for
perception
the
checks
time.
from everybody, please?
So you need to roll this one
15.
and add
15? 14?
15.
2.
Oh, that's a
roll
critical.
one.
Oh, so yeah,
Critical
that's
failure.
a critical failure.
Right, okay. You're just far too
trying to
interested
start.
in checking out the laundry around the place, the stuff that Nomi brought in with him. However, the two of you that got 15, you notice that Thazel, the major domo, who stood still next to the throne in a purple robe, it looks a little bit disappointed to have lost the connections of Garrus, who disappeared to bring in Fluffy. That's it. That's all I wanted. Can I get? Thank you. Can I get religion checks from everybody as well, please?
13.
24.
Ooh, okay.
Hang on, sorry,
I am
don't
a
know
cleric.
what that
You
modifier
are.
is.
my
You are a
job.
cleric. It's kind of your job.
Yeah.
7,
8.
8.
Did really well at this side of the table.
Come on this side of the table. Elias,
Yes.
you get the feeling that while Tabris is, a member of the Church of Owazo, and there's lots of sun imagery everywhere, and the feathers, which you would have come to know as the symbology of Owazo in this world, there's something else going on here as well, and that Thazel is not necessarily aligned with Owazo.
I smell heresy.
Smells like.
Smells like
Bacon.
bacon. Smells like bacon. The bacon of
Do
heresy.
you say this out loud?
I say it under my just to know me, I think. I smell heresy. Smells like bacon. I just smell bacon.
Can I roll a
Maybe it's
perception
bacon.
check to see if I hear that?
Yeah, sure. Roll a perception check.
Never mind. 8.
Do you know the wind's changed, and as it breezes up from the kitchens down below, you smell bacon.
He thinks it's heresy. Make sure it's not just bacon.
I'll keep my reservations about this Thazel character to myself for now.
All right, no worries.
It's noted. It's noted.
You head down towards down the side of the mountain, away from the Palace of Thousand Flowers, towards the plaza, where there is a great statue of Owazo, stood there with these feathers all down this cloak, in many different colours. It's been painted to be very bright, and you can see now, as you approach, that there are people painting, even as we speak, around the base, painting freshly.
I'm going to ask them. Do they have to do this? Do you have to do this every day, or is it to cover some sort of vandalism?
And as you say that, this Maguro walks up to you now, for the uninitiated. Maguro, these bird creatures, and this one has. They can sort of change various things about their appearance and about. They often change their name, and this Maguro has every feather seems to be a different colour, and it's not arranged in a gradient. It's just a splash of colour.
Oh.
And she walks up to you and goes, "It's to cover vandalism, unfortunately."
Are you Columns?
I am Columns.
Oh, we were sent by Queen Tabris to see you. Who vandalised this?
Come here. And she shows you this thing, and she shoos out of the way the painters, and she shows you a small circle of snakes, all facing outwards, and their tails in the centre are all tied in a knot. So it's a sort of a ring of snakes with their faces outwards.
I suspect that's why we're here.
Yes. It's most upsetting.
Do you have any idea where they are coming from? We heard Fishton was their base.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me if they were down in Fishton. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Tell me, Columns, have you seen these Nif?
I have not seen a Nif with my own eyes, thank Oazo.
But you know of someone who has, or you have an idea. We really just want to know what they look like.
You hear stories.
Mm-hmm.
The stories I have heard are that they are 8-foot-long snakes
Oh, God.
that slither along upreared with arms that carry bows and short swords.
My
I
fingers.
really hoped they were just going to be normal snakes. I have to say.
Why did it have to be snakes? My fingers itch on my whip and rapier. Come on, we gotta find these guys. They're so close. They painted this thing last night.
Well, luckily, if they're 8 foot long and they go around with arms, they should be fairly easy to spot if we do find them.
Well, why has no one seen one then?
Maybe they're sneaky.
Like
Maybe they have invisibility magic.
a snake.
8 foot long, they could eat us a whole.
That
They
is
could.
true.
That's true.
That's also
That's
true.
some good snake knowledge for all you snake
I'm
fans.
just a
A
no.
little bit scared now.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it sounds like this is some sort of
You're really good at
religious
hiding, so it's
problem
okay, you know.
with the Nif? Or is it more political?
Hiding in a snake's belly.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's both.
I see.
The Nif. The Nif. They do not worship any god that would ever hold any meaning to any civilized situation.
What is their god like?
Savage, cannibalistic. They cannot make allies in this world because they eat everyone they come across. Their god of blood requires sacrifice, and that is why they are shunned.
I see.
Fluffy
Now,
might be onto
if you
something.
ask me, this is not symbology of Gask. This is something else.
Well, I know that it is my religious duty as an acolyte of Rodan to destroy these blasphemous
Who?
creatures.
Who?
Huzzah!
Who?
A sun god, probably the same fella you've got here. Just different names. We're from a different plane of existence.
Oh, yes, well, I was wondering.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
It was literally in the first episode. Yeah, we are.
It's episode
from,
0.
Yeah, we're from. It was the pilot. We're from a complete. Yeah, we are from a different plane of existence. We are.
Perhaps Uazo and Rodan are the same. But
Well, if we are opposed to this cannibal snake monster, then
Gask.
then it sounds like we are. Probably.
Then I'm glad you are here. Because of your comment that you made earlier, Nomi, can you roll an investigation check, please?
Oh, which comment was that?
That they painted it last night.
Oh, yes. Investigation. 16.
16. While this chat has been going on, you've noticed a slight trail of paint leading off towards the coast on the ground.
Yeah, it's no.
So I go, well, thank you very much, Mrs. Bird. I just need to speak with my
Collins!
friends.
My name is Collins!
Collins, yes. Thank you, Collins.
You know Maguro at this point, Nomi. We've met at least 2.
Well,
3?
3 now.
okay, but my friends,
It's
please.
your fault that one of them's called sodium carbonate.
Oh, yes, I renamed one of them. Okay, so look at this. There's some paint here on the floor. I say we follow the trail.
Sloppy workmanship. Oh,
Good
you
eye.
think there's something else going on?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I don't think they
servants
were just bad artists. I
Oh, I
think
had
they
servants like this all the time.
accidentally,
If they are these snake things that sit along their belly, maybe they got some paint on them
On
and
them.
then it's at the down. Yeah.
That's
Good
very-
spot, Nomi.
That's a good
well
idea.
done.
That's why I'm here, I think.
Let's follow. Yeah. Yes, Nomi. Yes, it is. Let's follow the paint.
Follow that little
As
thing.
you as you follow the paint, it leads you out of the nice part of town. The buildings start to become more closely spaced together. They're less expensively built, and the people start to wear a bit more less colourful clothing as you go down, less beautiful blues and greens and reds. They're more just sort of dark colours. They can't afford the dyes by the look of it.
Keep your eyes on your pockets, chaps.
I let loose a little yelp.
That's profiling.
That is profiling.
Oh God, are these the slums?
And as you
First time.
As you head down, you can see a great, huge building with a wonderful white roof that resembles almost a sail, and there is a large gathering in front of it, and they sound angry. You can hear raised voices and shouts from the distance.
Can I try and discern what they're saying?
Roll a perception check. Everybody who wants to try and discern this
Yeah.
one.
18.
18.
20.
20.
13.
9.
13.
Still busy with laundry.
Still.
9. Fluffy, you just hear this tirade of sound, cacophony. Elias, you hear an occasional shout of, "It's outrageous!" Or so, "Burn it!"
I'm trying to ignore them because I'm pretty sure they're poor anyway.
You got 20 and you got 18, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Brina, you can, and also Nomi, Brina, you hear a shout of, "Burn the snake, mother! Burn the snake, mother!" Like, just, there's this chant coming from the crowd, and you can see now that they're starting to light torches, and like, this is the beginnings of a riot. This is a bad situation.
We need Alistair.
Nomi, you see all of this, and then you also see at the steps in front of this beautiful big building, 5 people desperately trying to keep the crowd in order. One of them, a paladin of Uazo, his scale mail, all painted in different colours, each scale, and he's desperately trying to raise his voice over the crowd. Please, calm down. But you can't, like, he's just not having any luck whatsoever.
Can I try and draw the... Sorry.
You also see,
Oh, yeah.
with your perception 20 from this angle, that what the crowd seem to be angry at is a great symbol has been painted on the wall here, exactly the same as the one you saw on the statue of Owazo, those snakes with the knotted tails.
Okay, can I try and draw the attention of the crowd to us by cracking my whip several times?
Sure. Make an intimidate. What would you like? How would you like to flavour this?
I kind of want to just shut everyone up and just shout and go, "Hey, come on!"
That's an intimidation check.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's a -1. So that's 9.
9. Okay. So Nomi runs forward to try and help and joins you head towards the divide between the paladins and the guards
Can I
and
follow
the
him?
riot, and you just come in going, "Hey, come on, whipping." And some of the crowd go, "Yeah, more whips!"
No!
And they suddenly go, "Has anybody got a whip? Let's..."
My friends, no, this is not my intention.
Can I follow Nomi and then try and make my way up to the paladins?
Yeah, sure.
I'm also going to try and get to the paladins.
Sure, you can all very easily make your way to the front of the crowd.
Okay, cool.
I'll try not to let any of them touch me.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
17.
You manage to dodge a few of them, but as you're pushing through the crowd, it's just impossible. And
I turn to Fluffy and go, "This will need to be cleaned."
Fluffy, how are you feeling about the situation? What are your thoughts?
Pretty scared. I'm pretty short, so it's quite a big crowd.
You're
Yeah.
taller than me.
Yeah, true. And now there's filth in people's clothes, so I'm not particularly happy.
No.
A lot of work later.
So conscious of your duties.
You're right.
What are you doing, crew? As the crowd grow, Nomi's attempt to break the
Failed.
situation up has it just whipped them, no pun intended, into an even more feverish, high-pitched anger.
Has anyone got a good sort of performance or...
I was
I
actually
might
going
have-
to. Could I look at the who's in charge out of this paladin and this priest?
There's 4 guards, and one of them is quite obviously a paladin of Owazo, and it's a Arabi who stands taller than most of the others. You notice now that you're looking that the crowd is mostly made up of Vosu, these fox-type creatures, and Komodo, the occasional Katafu. There's not many Arabi amongst them. And he's casting light on his mace as he's holding it high, and he's using a cantrip to make his voice boom out. He's trying to get the crowd to settle.
Okay, I'm going to message him.
Yep.
And go, what can we do to help you? And then give a little wave so he knows it's me.
And he looks around, almost confused, and then he sees you, and he goes, in the whisper that only you can hear, I don't know, what can you do to help me?
Guys, how are we going to calm this crowd down? Or at least...
Whipping doesn't work.
I mean,
Whipping doesn't work.
I'm curious as to why this paladin is defending this symbol, if it's just vandalism. But then the Mrs. Bird column said that it might not be to do with Gask.
Roll an insight check for me, please.
Ooh, I'm gonna think really hard. Oh, I think hard enough. It's an 11.
You get the impression that as a paladin of Owazo, of the sun god, this paladin is not necessarily trying to defend the vandalism, more disperse a riot.
Right.
Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk up the steps a little bit and face the crowd.
Okay.
And then, it's going to go horribly. I'm going to cast Wall of Force down the middle
Oh.
and split the crowd in half.
Split the crowd in half.
Just
okay.
the first 10 foot of the crowd, and see if that scares them into shutting up, essentially. Yeah. So how deep is this crowd?
The crowd is probably about, I would say, 30 feet deep and maybe 50, 60 feet wide. It's a proper riot that's beginning in front of you here.
Cool. So I'm literally... Yeah, I'm just gonna right in the middle, right in the front, at the front of the crowd, the first 10 feet, right in the middle. I'm just gonna cast Wall of Force there, put half on one side, half on the other side.
Okay, so you're doing this. Are you doing this directly ahead of you, or are you doing it horizontally?
Directly
to
ahead
you?
of me, so like vertically in the crowd.
Okay.
Like so, if I'm here, the wall's going away from me and like right in front of me down a line.
Okay, fantastic.
Just trying to confuse them.
Trying to confuse them. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
And suddenly this wall of force appears out of nowhere. Would you like to describe it for us?
Yeah, my Wall of Force. My magic used to be yellow, but some stuff's gone down, so it's all very grey and like sparkly still, but it's very grey. So she literally just cuts her feet down and throws it up, holding her hand like this because that's how she holds it. And a grey shimmering energy just cuts through the crowd.
And this grey shimmering energy
They
cuts
don't
through
take
the
damage, by the way,
crowd,
if I
and
pass it through them.
people bounce off of it, fall to the floor. There's angry shouts like, "He's casting magic on us!" They obviously, especially the people at the back, can't see you because you're 2 feet tall.
Yep.
You're a gnome. This is obviously not cooled the situation so far.
No.
Have you got anything to follow it up with?
No.
Anybody else want to jump in at this point
I've got like
before the riot kicks off?
light is not working because he's casting light anyway.
Yeah.
We need
What
ours
does
there,
Sacred
that's
Flame
really
do? I don't know Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame is
any
a
ideas?
damaging cantrip
Right.
Great.
which calls down the sun's beams to scorch your enemies.
Don't do that.
I could.
Way!
The only other useful things I think I've got a banishment. I don't want to banish anyone.
Obviously, the sun has left you, Elias.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Or I've got.
We don't have a bard. Why is this the one time we don't have a bard?
I've got.
We can do this.
I've got. What was it? I just looked up. It was.
Have you got any bright ideas, Fluffy?
Nope.
It was. Not prayer of healing.
I'm going to take the wall down because it feels like stupid now.
Okay.
I've thought about
Beacon of Hope. Would that do anything? That just makes people better at their wisdom saving throws. I think.
I mean, it does. It also stops people from dying.
Yeah.
Roll a. But if you want to cast this, you can roll a performance check. with
Okay.
it.
Where's my
It gives a little speech, and we'll see how you do.
a little speech?
A little speech. I require a little speech.
I say,
as you cast the spell.
unwashed people, let the light of Rodan, or whatever you call him, into your hearts, that he may calm and appease you. There is always hope from the sun.
Oh wow! Okay, cool. Roll a performance check with advantage because I quite liked that little speech.
How do you roll with advantage?
So you roll twice and just take the higher roll.
6 or 1.
Oh no!
Well, I'll take the 6 then.
Is that total?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And then you call down the sun and you glow. You positively glow bright, even in the midday sun. You're a source of light, and the crowd go, "He called to us a Rodan! More heretics! More heretics!" And at this point, a missile is thrown at you.
Oh, God.
It misses you completely, but you see that it's a bottle as it smashes on the ground beside you.
I go, right, who threw that?
And this rather tall Vosu at the front goes, "It was me!"
I banish him.
Disappears into the dust.
Do I get to save against that? It's wisdom, yeah?
I believe so.
Okay, he did not roll well. So you extend your finger towards this harmless citizen, and a thin beam of sun just erupts from you as you. It doesn't matter. He rolled a 3, but thank you. As you call on Rodan's presence, and the sun very quickly hits him in the chest, and he's gone. He's just gone.
This is the power of Wazo.
Roll an intimidation check with advantage.
That's a 5.
Come on, dude.
20!
Yeah! and the paladin of Wazo looks at you like, "What are you doing?" But the crowd are terrified now. And as you banish that one Vosu who threw...
I just bow down. I just go, "Oh, well, God, we need to worship him."
The 6 people around scream and they start a stampede in the other direction.
I'm already pulling up my Rodan pamphlets and trying to...
People are falling. People are... it now looks like this isn't going to be a riot. This is going to be a stampede. And people are going to get hurt because they're going to be trampled.
I turn to the paladin on the steps and say, "You're welcome."
Why did you do that?
Well, you weren't doing anything.
Oh God. This is
Have you got
terrible.
anything
Not gonna get
to...
bottled by some
No,
pleb.
no calm emotion spells. No, nothing.
I'm not a bard.
No ideas.
These are all
He's
bard
not dead.
spells.
He's not dead. He'll come back.
And
He'll
as
come
the
back.
crowd disperse, there are 3 bodies that are just left on the floor,
You've got Revivify.
But the
beaten and bruised.
yes, I'll bring them back. The guy who was banished, he's going to pop back in a minute.
In a
as well,
minute,
isn't he?
yeah. Literally in a minute.
He's
Well,
probably had a
actually,
horrible
if you
time.
keep the, so here's the thing: if you end the spell, he comes back. If you don't end the spell, he's gone forever.
If I don't end the spell.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, I thought they just came back. Oh, right.
He gets a save after a minute.
Oh, right. Well, I will bring him back
did
when
pretty
I'm
well.
ready to leave this area. What's the best he casts? Revivify? Does that do multiple people?
Revivify,
I've
cure
got
wounds.
Mass cure wound.
Mass cure wounds would be very
Yeah,
useful.
let's do that.
Okay, roll 3d8 and as your charisma modifier.
Maths 3, 11, 14, and charisma.
Yep.
14 plus nothing is 14.
No, sorry, wisdom.
Oh,
My
sorry.
bad. I don't know.
Plus 5 is 19.
Because I'm used to because usually the bards are the healers in this game because we have so many bards.
19.
19, cool. So describe to us how the power of Rodan or Uazo heals these people.
There's 3 of them.
There's
right?
3 of them just
So
scattered, beaten,
I stand
bloodied.
sort of like in the middle, and I wave my hands out, and sort of a sort of like wave, like on water, a wave of light emanates
Oh,
and
very
sort of
nice.
washes down onto them, and I go, "Get up, you dirty plebs! You are healed."
And they all start
You're welcome.
getting up to there, and then they look at you and just very angrily just sort of do a slow jog away. Like, at this point,
Take a pamphlet.
and the crowd has pretty much dispersed, and they're all heading back to their own hovels, shops, pubs, back where they came from.
Well, that was
And
terrible.
the paladin goes, "They'll be back in greater numbers." And at this point, the Vosu that you banished reappears in front of you and goes, "It was me!" You. And he looks around and sees that he's alone, but he's pretty angry at you.
I
enough.
just unfurl the whip, and I sort of wait.
Okay, sure. Roll an intimidation check.
My intimidation is terrible, though. I'm a little
With
gnome.
advantage,
Okay.
because he's just been banished.
14.
Okay, so the Vosu, this tall, with brown fur, fox-like creature, he squares up to you, and then Nomi just lets his whip drop to the floor. And the Vosu's like, "You'll get what's coming to you." And he starts walking
And
away.
I say, Owazo has other powers as well, Foxman. And then I
Racist.
wave my hand a little bit like this. Whoa.
Roll an intimidation check.
What is this?
19.
Okay, he looks genuinely terrified by this waving of the hand.
Whoa.
The situation has been dispersed. I know, it's terrifying, isn't it? The situation has been dispersed. What would anybody like to do at this point? As the paladin of angrily turns to the guards again. "Get someone to clean this off the wall quickly.
I'm going to apologise to the paladins, first of all.
And you! I mean, you cleared the crowd, but
Not well, no.
no.
And I'm going to make my badge look a little bit more prominent because I'm a bit worried. And just go, we're here on behalf of Queen
Tabris.
Tabris. I remember her name so well.
Yeah, that's all right.
Queen Tabris. We're trying to get rid of the Nif. Or
Well,
at least like figure out why they keep
Whoever
vandalising.
painted this, I'd be surprised Queen Tabris has time for this. What with all her extracurricular activities.
Well, to be fair, Abelzin was the one who actually sent us. And then we,
That makes more sense, yeah. Well, can you help us clean this while you're here? You seem to be a wizard.
Sure, and I start using prestidigitation to get it off.
Sure, and you very slowly just describe to us how you're cleaning it.
I just sort of I very small strokes, but very gently, just sort of like ushering it off the wall. Like, come on, let's go. Coming off
Can I
now.
look around for any other flecks of paint trails?
Yeah, roll an investigation check. Thank you very much.
10.
10. No. You can't see any more paint trails.
Okay.
Where you're at the moment.
How big is this thing?
It's long. It's very long. Hang on a second.
How tall is it?
Oh, are you talking about the sign or the building?
No, I'm talking about the sign, the graffiti.
The graffiti is it's pretty big. The graffiti, I would say, is probably about 8 foot tall.
So I'm going to
and
stop when
wide.
I get my 2 foot.
Yeah, sure. You clean the bottom 2 feet of this sign away.
Does the paint trail go to the graffiti?
It does. Yes. Yeah. You spot that it does head towards the graffiti and it stops there.
Any more of the trails coming off after the graffiti, or is it just straight to the graffiti and stops?
Roll an investigation check.
She's got +3.
15?
15. There's no more paint trails, but you see on another statue, this time a statue to Zimian, the god of the moon in this plane, you spot that there is a carving just on the base of this exact same symbol. And just to set the scene a little bit more, this huge building you can now see above the door, it's called the Full Sail. And it's used by the people of Fishton as a meeting house, a tavern, a gambling house, trading room. It's also, Fluffy, you notice, has more symbology carved into it. Roll a religion check for me. As you notice these wavy lines stacked into the carving on this. 18. You've spent some time around the taverns in this existence, and you recognise that these wavy lines that have been carved into the side of this building are symbol of Apamos, the goddess of luck and winds. It has struck you as odd, really, that in a world with so many sailors, there haven't been more temples to Apamos.
Well, yeah, there's lots of wavy lines here. It's a Temple of Apamos. Lots of little wavy lines everywhere.
Oh, okay.
There's also another carved symbol over here with the snake god.
Oh, that's not good.
Yep.
And I point this out to the paladins.
This problem is starting to get out of hand.
Hopefully we'll be able to deal with it better than the riot.
They
Probably not.
They
The
were-
riot, the riot we stopped.
Pretty
Right,
successful.
was also start.
They were. At least you
say
finish
we.
what you start.
I mean,
They
I.
were calling this symbol the Snake Mother. Now, I haven't done any research personally into the Nif, but I remember from my mother's stories that they worship Gazk, god of blood and chaos.
Do you think maybe that they have some sort of meeting house
Oh, for heaven's sake.
in here? Could this be where they live? Or meet?
I hope not. This is the main town hall for all of Fishton.
So more of a statement then.
Maybe.
Is there a pipe? Is there an underground system of tunnels, or is there a cellar, or is there anything that they could be using as a hideout?
Not that I know of. Feel free to investigate the area.
Sounds like a good idea. Probably investigate the area.
Yeah, let's go into this building and investigate it. I think that's a good.
Yeah, sure. You enter this building, and it's this huge wooden construction with beautiful, not beautiful, but it's graceful the way that it's set out. These cloths hung from the ceiling that give you the impression of sails. And inside, it's currently empty. It's been cleaned out, you get the impression, by the guards and the paladin. But there's all sorts of little corners. There's one room you notice that is full of beds and bunks. It looks a little bit like a hostel. There are bars. There are marketplaces in this incredibly long, sort of 200-foot long structure. It feels like a general meeting place, a mix-mash of everything that a village would need under one roof. Thank you.
What is this cesspool?
It's a marketplace.
He's never seen one.
We literally did a. Where were you when we did the supplies run?
I was probably at prayer.
Of course. Right. I want to
this
look
wizard.
around for anything that might lead to downstairs, anything that looks a little bit shady, anything that looks like. Actually, I want to look for the symbol again. That's what I want to look for.
Yeah, roll investigation check.
Do you
Fluffy,
wanna
you
help
can
me?
join.
No, thank God you did.
21?
7.
21.
Yep.
With my +5 modifier, 7.
Brina, you start looking in the very obvious places for this.
She's not a
Whereas
criminal.
Fluffy, as somebody who's used to being behind the scenes as a laundryman, you think, if I were a secret symbol, where would I be? Where do you find this secret symbol?
I find this secret symbol above a doorway. I just randomly see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just above the carving of the outside of the doorway, you see this knotted snakes
Yeah.
once again, and you get the impression, maybe they were in here.
I point it out to everybody else. There's a symbol up on the top corner.
Good
Go,
find.
go over there and have a look around.
Roll another investigation check for me, Fluffy.
6.
6. Okay. This is, again, one of the bedded areas. So there are a few bedrolls lying down and a couple of hammocks hanging from the wall, again, leading in with the sails imagery. And you find, can everybody else roll an investigation for me? Everybody who wants to join Fluffy.
24.
24.
That's better.
Can I investigate,
70.
but not for the symbol? Can I just look for something to steal?
Of course, Nomi. That's who you are.
That's
Not
an
going to know me are
18.
giving gnomes a bad name.
That's a 20.
A 20.
Yeah.
Nomi, you find a small gem that looks purpley, a little bit like an amethyst. Brina and Elias, Elias especially, you know the look very well of religious pamphlets. And you find one here on the floor. And
I can smell bacon.
And
oh,
just with that,
that callback's rich.
and as soon as I hear that, I'm just like, what?
And as you pick it up, you just get it's a question on the front page with the symbol, the knotted snakes. The question: who is the snake mother? Question mark. And it on the back of the pamphlet. It's more of a leaflet, really. It invites people to Villa Shuno and asks absolute secrecy. And that is where we're going to leave this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks for playing. We'll hand back over to Chloe, the stage manager, to do our outro.
Yes, we are doing this. Thank you again for joining us. We're doing this from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day at the Fringe, apart from the 24th and 25th. You are more than welcome to buy tickets to see where the adventure goes. You can buy player tickets to get involved yourself. We're also live streaming the whole thing on twitch.tv/adventurerswanted and live tweeting it on @adventurers250. I'm now going to throw to a couple of people here who are working on other shows at the Fringe.
Yeah.
It's their time for a cheeky plug.
Thank you. I'm doing a one-man show about Thomas Paine, the 18th century revolutionary, at Sea Royale at 7:30 every day except today. Today's my day off, which I'm very pleased about. It's on George Street. It's funny and political, historical, if you like that sort of thing. It's me in a wig and tights for an hour. So come along if you fancy that.
Nice. I'm doing two shows at the Fringe. One's called Mars Actually, the other's called the Jurassic Parks. They're on at 7 p.m. and they're physical comedy, and but they're also very touching stories as well. And yes, that's at Assembly Roxy.
Brilliant. Cool. Thank you again for coming. We've got now a quick turnaround to our next hour, so it's just the doors you came through, and have a lovely day.
Woo! Thanks very much.
Thank you.